Your child is your gift. Always remember that. Your child is not just a human being that's sitting around lollygagging. You need to know everything about your child. You need to know your likes and dislikes about your child. You have to study your child. Don't be lazy. Don't leave it up to a teacher. Because in this world, this society, they teaching your kids bullshit. They're not teaching your kids about themselves. They teaching your kids about irrelevant shit. Because when they grow up, they're not going to need that shit. And what happens is these cycles that's being repeated on a day-to-day basis, it needs to cut ties, cut loose ends on a day-to-day basis. We have to change how we treat and cater towards our children. Because at the end of the day, your child could be $1 trillion, billions of dollars. And you may not even know this shit because you're not putting yourself into a situation to know about your child. You're not putting yourself into a situation to enlighten your child about things. It's your duty and responsibility to take care of your child. Feel me? It's not the society's responsibilities. If that's the case, why raise a child if you're not going to raise them properly? Fuck the traditions. Fuck the old ways of doing things. We are in new times. And your child means a whole lot to you at this point, too. Especially if they're not in that period of growth already. Even if they are growth. Feel me? It's never too late to basically change your life around and direct your goals and your aim towards shit that truly matters. Shit that's going to cater towards you. Shit that's going to basically build you up and not build you down. Because you got to put your feet on the ground. You got to make shit practical. You got to be consistent in life. Because consistency brings keys to doors that needs to be open. And when you're opening doors and when you're surfacing and borderline and when you're going straight towards right areas and right mechanisms, you won't be in a situation of struggling or putting yourself into down moments. Because always remember, you as the parent, you're supposed to bring your heaven on earth versus bringing your hell on earth. Now, bringing your hell on earth means you're struggling. You're going through situations of not picking up the slack. And of course, struggling is only going to put you into low vibrational energies, which means you was already in that energy mentally, physically. It played out emotionally. And of course, it get manifested. And that's the same energy that you accumulated when you was inside that woman. That's the same energy that that child is going to basically withstand towards too. And the cycle never ends. And depending on how you was feeling and thinking and expressing yourself before your days of ends, when you in the flesh, that's going to dictate the resonations of the child taking that body and experiencing that shit again. Energy can never be destroyed. It can only be reciprocated. So the energy that you basically are pushing out is the energy that you are basically receiving again. And of course, never push out what you don't want to receive back. Because remember, that shit, it comes right back to the sender. Because of course, you got everything inside of you. Everything that you need is inside of you. Everything that you create is inside of you. And when you push these things out, these things have a magnet, which means it comes back. Just like how the 360 plays out. Everybody has a 360. Everybody has a spiral. Everybody has a rotation period. Everybody has a spins. Everybody has a frisbee. And of course, your frisbee gonna always come back to you because why? You the one that threw it. And of course, it's attached to you. So you got to take care of it. And that child is gonna be attached to you as well. So you need to take care of that fucking child. And love that child. Embrace that child. Put that child first. That's your creativity. That's your new creativity that took the shape and form of the existence that you're in right now. So that means everything that you're doing should be predicated towards that child. And the reason why I'm telling you to do that is because doing that is putting you into a situation for that child to be in a better position, to make sure that your ass is even taken care of as well. Because if you neglect your child and just go straight, not worry about them or give them time, they're going to basically build frustration on your ass. Gonna point the finger at you. They're gonna be like, wait, what the fuck happened? You told me to do this, you told me to do that. But in the meanwhile, things is changing. Life is changing. We're not going back to the same things in the same ways that we basically conduct ways and do things. Now it's you got to do this in order for you to basically keep this job, or keep this position, or keep these things. And you got to understand and understand that we're not in these times anymore. We are moving into new times now. So putting a child or making your child to be in survival mode is not a route that you want to basically put your child in. Feel me? That's not a route. You already see what's going on in the world in general. Kids out here with guns, coming to school, all kinds of shit now. That's not a talent. That's not a gift. That's a hell. You got your child in hell. So it's your responsibility to know about your child and take your child out of that situation and not have them spiral in that situation. It's always your fucking responsibilities. And never, ever lose focus towards that. Your responsibilities becomes less burden if you take care of these things right away and not allow procrastination, anxiety, or worries to basically build up. Because if you let that procrastination dirt build up into your waters, then of course your waters start to basically move slow and get dirty. And of course, when your waters is dirty, that means you are a fucking parasite, a dry motherfucker, a dry individual, a dry face. And of course, you're not putting yourself into a situation to be happy or feel happy, because you got a whole lot of shit on your shoulders, a whole lot of bricks on your damn shoulders. And of course, you're not loosening that shit because you're not taking care of yourself. You're not doing the right things, aka the movie Do the Right Thing. You're not putting yourself into a situation. You just basically creating Radio Raheem situations for your child. You don't want to basically keep doing that shit. So what you basically need to do, you need to find a talent, a gift that your child is going to truly evolve into. And of course, you need to put that child on a basic routine. Put that child to work. Feel me? Don't be in the situation of putting your child to work one day and then of course you want us to like go. No, it don't work like that. Feel me? You need to get on your ass, take care of those opportunities to go ahead and basically create a system for your child. A system that you are abiding that child towards. So a system that this child can basically be able to hold and of course carry it out when they grow up and get older and when they have kids. This way you won't be in a situation of needing from the government or knocking on the government's door saying I need this, I need that. But of course you got to put yourself into a situation that you're putting yourself into. You don't want to be in that situation because things get very sticky. And when things get sticky, it gets very icky. And of course, when it get icky, you get the hiccups, which means you keep experiencing the same frustrations, the same arrogance, the same sereneness. And of course, you always got to put yourself into rebellious mode. You never want to put yourself into rebellious mode a goddamn time. So you got to understand that it's truly your duty, your obligation to make things appropriately, comfortably in the beginning. This way, when you get to the middle and the end, all you got to do is sit back and relax. You ain't got to put too much effort into something that's already being nurtured and cared for. You got to put yourself into a situation of overindulging and of course seeing how the aspects will basically play out from this day on that. No, everything starts with you. And of course, by you taking care of your shit, having your shit prepared, your child will be able to actually lay in the bed that you created for them. And it won't be a bad ride. It'll be a joyful ride. It'll be a roller coaster, a wonderful roller coaster. And of course, it's going to be ups and downs. But that's just the process of life. That's how the tides and the oceans move. Ups and down. It moves around. It's spiraling. And of course, that's how you're supposed to look at life, how it truly is. Sometimes you got to go up. Sometimes you got to come down. And of course, you can't have all at once. That's why you got to have balance. Sometimes you got to see the negative shit play out to how it play out. This way, you seen it, you experience it, and of course, you know you won't have to actually go that route. Even though it can play into a situation of expectations or experiences that can come into hand. But of course, you should always have the upper hand. You should always be prepared miles away, trials away. This way, when things actually hit the fan, you won't be out here like a loose chicken with no head. You will have your head. You will have your mind. And your mind won't be somewhere versus your body. Because that's how it really play out sometimes, too. Your spirit can be over here. Your mind can be over there. Your body can be back there. Your legs can be all over the goddamn place. Which means that you're all over the place. You're doing too fucking much. You need to stagnate yourself for a second, for a few. You need to sit your ass down somewhere. You're going through a lot. You're going through a mental roller coaster right now. And of course, you're going to lose your dome. Somebody took that dome. And of course, you got a question. Who put you into this situation? Who put you into these vibrations? Who put you into these arenas? Because of course, you don't want to be comfortable in these places. You want to get uncomfortable out of this place as soon as possible. And sometimes you just got to put yourself into a naked situation. Sometimes you got to be comfortable in uncomfortable situations, because the longer you stay in that situation, the energy that you're receiving, the energy that you don't want to receive, you can turn that into alchemy. And of course, this is how you use your magic. This is how you're working with the energies, versus the energies are sunking you up. And remember, you got to use it or you're going to lose it. So that means if you ain't using these aspects, and if you ain't using these terms, and if you ain't using the world and life, it's going to use you, which means you are always a replacement to society, which means you are always a battery to society. And when your batteries start to run out, that means you ain't got a lot of punch, you ain't got a lot of fruit punch, you ain't got a lot of push. And of course, your push is not dwelling properly. Your push is underneath something. Your push is not turning on. Your push is not getting that start going. Your push is in control. Your push is in control of somebody else's. And of course, you ain't got no control, because your control has left you and it's neglected you. You ain't got yourself. It's always important to have yourself. And that's why it's always important to know that these children out here are highly important. And of course, your mind itself as a child. And if you're not nurturing your mind or caring for your mind, if you have your mind into an area that it feels uncomfortable in, that's your problem. That's your fault. Nobody told you to put your mind there. Nobody told you to waste your mental cells in that area. Nobody told you to fuck there. Nobody told you to piss in that bed. Nobody told you to lay in that bed that you pissed in and shitted in. Nobody told you to get comfortable in that situation. You volunteered to stay comfortable in that situation. So it's your fault. Feel me? Your fault. So don't lose yourself. Just know that how much time, how much energy are you willing to basically take to put yourself into a situation this way your children won't be chaotic. Because remember, these ideas can be bouncing around all over the goddamn place, which means your mind, your children, of course, whatever's on your mind, whatever's on your heart, when y'all bring your children into this world, that's what you're going to basically create the experiences for you and that child in general. So you got to be careful and be very wise to not just basically be out here fucking just because you're horny or you got lust issues and shit like that. Feel me? You're going to feel that shit. You have needs. But never put yourself into a situation of just doing shit without having the right mind frame with it. I mean, you're going to pay for what you basically ask for. You're going to always pay for what you're paying attention to. So make sure you're paying attention to the right shit. Make sure you're paying attention to some shit that you want to basically manifest into your favors and not be unfavorable for you. Because when it's unfavorable for you, things won't work out into your spectrum. These kids are important though. These kids is all we got. And these kids are in a situation of being attacked and harmed. So you need to protect your kid, protect your children. And don't put the children in the hands of this fucking government. Because you already know what their minds are like. You already know what these demons is like. And these demons, they love blood. And these demons, they're very dirty. These demons are dead men walking. So never put your responsibilities, never put your issues into somebody else's hands. Because if you're doing that, they get to piggyback and do whatever the fuck they want to do with this energy. And of course, they're going to make it seem like it's okay. And it seems like it's acceptable for you to do certain things. But remember, at the end of the day, that's your child, your children. And when, of course, when they go to the extremes, and of course, when you give them your situation, they'll try to use your situation against you, saying that they should do this, that they have to do that, and things that matter. And it ain't got to be shit like that. You just realize what you need to do and take care of your responsibilities and not fuck shit up. Everything will go smooth. But if you're in a situation where if somebody is 10 toes down and y'all just in a situation of 5 toes, where the extra 5 at? So that should be a prime example right there to not evolve or surround yourself with an individual that's not going to cater towards their child or help out the situation. But 10 times out of 10, karma always comes to those that don't take care of their creativity and their gift. And that could be anything, an idea, a feeling, or a child. But that goes back onto you.